get warm? Yeah, it was part of the experience. We wanted you to be warm by the time you were up here. Thank you all so much for coming. Welcome to LAC USC Medical Center. We are so excited to show you a glimpse into future opportunities and development that are underway here at LAC USC. We're delighted that in this beautiful December afternoon, we have an incredible piece of Los Angeles history to reimagine and to imagine a future that houses some of our most vulnerable, some of our families, some of our staff, some of, just the folks that really make this campus be vibrant and amazing. My name is Rosa Soto, and I'm Executive Director of our LAC USC Foundation, as well as of the Wellness Center, which is an incredible space that we have on the first floor of this building that has been retrofitted to support 23 nonprofit partners that address social determinants of health. Really, it's an opportunity for us to think about what people need to really achieve health, optimum health. Right? Because sometimes you go to your doctor's office and they tell you, you got to take care of yourself. You got to address your blood pressure or your diabetes or, whatever you have to address. But there's a lot going on at home. So for some of our community, it is almost impossible for them to address their health unless there are ways in which we can bridge some of their most urgent needs. And those are, housing and food security and maybe domestic violence or maybe, their chronic illness or the complexity at home of others that they care for that have chronic illness. So all of that we want to address as a community. We want to address together so that our community can decide for themselves how they want to achieve optimal health. But we all want health. We know that. We know that from every single person that we talk to in our clinics and in our wellness center. So for us also, the Wellness Center is an example of what's possible in a historic space that is this repurposed hospital. We were able to imagine a space that had both the historic elements preserved as well as new retrofitted experience, so that people, when they come through the doors, feel that it is modern, that it is welcoming, that it is a space for them to come. So the opportunity and vision for our future is a commitment to holding community along with our incredible county services. And there is no better person to speak about that vision than our very own Supervisor Hilda Solis, who will be kicking off today's event. After Supervisor speaks, you will hear from our CEO, Jorge Orozco. And then you'll hear from Director Mark Pastrella of Los Angeles County Public Works. And finally, you will hear from Kelly LeBlanco, Director of the Los Angeles County Department of Economic Opportunity. So we are so thrilled to have you here today. You'll hear from them. You'll get an opportunity to get a tour of our wellness center in our first floor of this building. And then there'll be tours that you can also take on our bus to the rest of our campus, which is West Campus. There is incredible acreage that you'll hear about that is part of this development opportunity. And then you'll come back here and have an opportunity to continue to engage and look at some of the public documents. There's some boards on the other side that each individual department that is responsible for those public documents can highlight. So thank you everyone for being here. And I just want to introduce our supervisor. Supervisor Solis, as you all know, is an incredible champion with great passion for our community, but her entire career has been dedicated to ensuring the voice of the most vulnerable, right, is center and forefront. And we haven't felt it more than in this process. In the last 8 years, she has elevated a health innovation community partnership that meets every month and really allows for our community to sit side by side with decision makers, with her staff, right, with department heads, and really explore what's possible in terms of development and investment. And I think there's no better opportunity for us to see, to reimagine, right, what the future can hold than to do it side by side with our community. So without further ado, and her incredible credentials you already know, I want to introduce Supervisor Hilda Solis.
Thank you, and good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us here at this very iconic place. I want to thank Rosa. I want to thank Heather. I want to thank the foundation staff that helped to put this together. And more importantly, for all the hard work that this has taken. over the last 8 years. I think this is something that I personally feel very thankful for. I want to acknowledge, I believe Assembly Member Santiago is joining us. I don't know if he's here yet, but I did want to mention him. He also, along with other elected officials in Sacramento, are very much a partner with us in helping us secure $50 million that Assemblywoman Wendy Carrillo, as well as Speaker Rendon, helped to achieve this last budget cycle that will go towards this development here. So I want to give him a round of applause, even though he may not be here. I personally want to thank our CEO team for their work on the feasibility study and preparing the site development. A lot of hard work, many hours, and I really do appreciate everything that they have done to bring us here today as well. I want to thank also Mark Pastrella, the Department of Public Works, who sometimes doesn't always get recognized, but he's actually the guy behind the scenes that actually builds things. So he's our in-house engineer. Please give him a big round of applause. Kelly Lobianco, who you will also meet if you haven't already, she's our newly minted Department of Economic Opportunity CEO. So she will have a lot to do with what goes on here, working with the Department of Public Works, alongside with Jorge Orozco, who is our CEO for LAC-USC Medical Center. And they have all been great partners. So I want to emphasize that, because this isn't just something that got thrown together the last 6 months. This has been ongoing for some time. Again, I also want to understate, as Rosa pointed out, I am very, very grateful for the number of hours and time that our community partners, known as the Health Innovation Community Partners, HICAP is what they're known as, a group of maybe 30 to 50 organizations that have been meeting regularly for the last, I want to say, maybe 5 or 6 years, as long as I know. And they did it diligently. Nobody got paid. They held meetings not just here on this campus, but around the community to try to get as much input as possible. Laborious hours up until 9, 10 o'clock at night, including our CEO staff, our other staff that came out to help explain what we could do with this property, this beautiful property, and how we could somehow become more inclusive about who uses it, who can live here, who can respite here, who can get treatment, but more importantly, how we can continue to have this community thrive. Those are the really important things I need to underscore for all of you. You know, LAC-USC Medical Center, as you know it, is a very important medical complex here to Los Angeles. We call it the flagship. And it really is one of the largest public hospitals on this side of the Mississippi. And it is known for that, the iconic programming that you see on TV. They always show General Hospital. Well, that picture is now this building, but this building's vacant. But guess what? Hopefully after this exercise, we'll be able to see people coming back in, but not just healing, but also having respite and having a place to live and having a place to work and thrive. And that's my idea and why we're here today. And I really want to underscore how important it is for all of us to think of it in that way. You're going to be hearing more about what is happening, what is transforming here on this campus. Everyone kind of knows it as LAC-USC, but I need to tell you that things are going to change. The naming of this campus is going to change, and that's something that we're going to be undergoing. We're going to be renaming this now as more of a general hospital, a different label. And you know, obviously we have a relationship with USC Keck Hospital, which is next door. But this is our identity. This is who we are. And we're going to a different trajectory now. So we think that is also going to be very, very critical for how we move forward. I don't think I need to tell you. If you don't know, I'd like to ask if anyone knows how many acres this is. Anybody want to raise their hand? 86 acres. And this facility has existed since the 1800s. The campus, as you know, consistently continues to provide trauma care, making this one of the single most largest healthcare providers in LA County and one of the busiest public hospitals in the US. And when you think about it, it's the newer building down below. That's where a lot of the treatment that continues. But so much of this started many decades ago. According to staff, it's about 90 years old. So happy birthday, General Hospital. You're only 90. That's not bad. Also want to say that on this campus every day, we have over 10,000 professionals and 1,000 medical trainees who come to visit this campus. And that's aside from the patients and other people that have business to do here. I also want to mention the different departments that have anchors here on this campus. So it just tells you the vitality that exists here. And that includes the Department of Health Services, obviously, the Department of Public Health, the Department of Mental Health, the medical examiner, the coroner's office, the sheriff's department, and the Department of Public Works, in addition to the U.S. Navy Medical Training Center and other various nonprofits that you heard Rosa talk about earlier. I think there's some 30 or more that have made their home here. Simply put, this complex, in my mind, is one of the largest economic engines on this side of town. And people may not understand it in that context. And that's exactly why we're having this discussion. Because right here, even though this place opened back in 1934, it has 1.2 million square feet of Art Deco building that you're gonna see and you're gonna be able to walk through. It is one of the most iconic structures, and you can see it when you're flying in to LAX, and you know that you're home here in LA if it is your home. If not, you know where you're at. It was built, General Hospital, the largest medical facility, as I said earlier, west of Chicago. So that gives you some context. The generations of doctors that were trained here and scholars credit this old general as the birthplace of modern emergency medicine. And back in 1985, not too long ago, it's estimated that nearly 1 out of every 200 children in the United States were born here at General Hospital. So put that in context. That's a pretty amazing factoid. Unfortunately, as you know, some of us who lived here, back in 1994, the Northridge earthquake damaged the structure of this facility and spurring a new hospital safety regulations and causing the hospital to fall out of earthquake and fire compliance as we know today. The county built a new hospital back in 2008. And since then, General Hospital has sat mostly vacant, and only county offices, very few, and the wellness center keep the lower floors occupied. And when I took office back almost 8 years ago, I began looking at how we could look at our underutilized county properties. And of course, it was brought to my attention, Hilda, it's right under your nose. It's LACUSC, it's a General Hospital, it's the campus. And I thought, campus? And then when I came and toured and did what I had to do, I saw the potential here. I saw the dream that could be. And that's why I believe we're here. So back in 2018, if I could share this with you, I presented a motion that would direct the county to launch a feasibility study to redevelop the old General Hospital and the different outerlying properties that surround it. In April of this year, the Chief Executive Office released a 366-page report on that, and the report illuminates a path of future development and highlights the community's priorities. So if you're interested, I would read all 366 pages. Don't just go to the executive summary, because you're going to learn a lot. There's a lot of time was spent here. And time again, the community stressed, as you kind of heard from Rosa, the need for more affordable housing. And that isn't just here in this area. That's all over the country, the county, and the state of California. People were also looking for assistance for those that are unhoused. So having affordability, deeply low and low income communities that could come here, live here, and work here, some of our workforce. Families, as you know, have been priced out of this area for many, many years. And we continue to see gentrification surrounding this campus, but also other parts of Los Angeles that are not too far from here. Following that report, I authored then another motion in July, which was unanimously approved by the Board of Supervisors, directing this county to prepare a development and financing plan for a public-private partnership to bring this project to fruition. That's what we're here today for. And that's why I think it's very important for many of you that could come here to learn and understand what it is that we hope to envision here together. Today, as you know, marks the first time that we are opening our doors to developers to help us envision what is possible and the potential here on this property. Not just General Hospital, but the West Campus. And that in and of itself, I think says a lot, because you're going to learn and see a lot. I would encourage all of you to please take those tours that are going to be offered now, today, but also in the future, because there's a lot more to see. Last week, some of you may recall, I was sworn in for my third and final term as supervisor. And I know that this is going to be an incredible project. And I started it in my first term. And it may not be completed when I end in 4 years. Boy, I wish I could just snap my fingers and it could happen. But I've never seen that happen. But let me be clear. We do have good minds and people. And we have a good workforce. And I think that's the other attractive part of this, is that we're also going to be able to help people economically while they are here working on this project. So for the next years, I think we're going to see a different uptick in what we will call a healthy village that we're going to see emerge here in this space. The county has already begun to realize this dream just by the opening of the restorative care village that happened earlier this year. And some of that is on display across the way. You'll see some of the charts that are out there that will depict and show you that. And I think there's going to be tours showing you exactly what we have built with the help of the county and other private developers in a matter of time also. So we can get projects ready in a matter of time, in a short time frame, if we really put our efforts forward. This project you're going to hear more about. I do believe it will be a national model. I've already begun discussions with people I know back east to tell them about how exciting this is. And people, believe it or not, in municipal and local government are quite surprised at, why didn't we think of that? We have some old buildings that could be repurposed. And why have to compete with outside folks that want to sell property when we have the property and we have those assets right here, those jewels that we can turn around. So I'm hoping that we can continue to go down this road and see just how many people we can entice to get interested in this project. The same thing I want to mention is that we've already begun, if you're not aware, of another development that's taking place right now as we speak, and that is a 300-unit of permanent supportive housing that is being built on Mission Road, a few hundred feet away from here. So in addition to what we're seeing potentially here, we're continuing to build out everything else that we know is necessary and needed based on what we believe our community and the needs are of this area, this region. So I'm not just going to limit my thoughts and my ideas to just the neighborhood around here. It's far beyond that. It is way far beyond that. The developer team that we have now regularly goes to community meetings, and I would want to implant that in your minds that that's what I'm going to expect, that people really engage with the community, because it is a big part of what we do. And it's valuable to gain their feedback. We're also progressing toward an additional phase of this restorative care village where the former Women and Children's Hospital once was. That will also be another facility that will be treatment mostly, recuperative, acute care, and other things of that nature. And we are now looking at compiling funding sources for that as well. So as you can see, we have a lot on our plate. I do, the county does, and those that are interested. We have a lot of dreaming, but hopefully these dreams will come to realization. I want to also give a shout out to Governor Gavin Newsom, who toured this facility, the old General Hospital, with me and a few staffers a couple of months back. And when I told him and proposed this idea of repurposing this hospital, he kind of looked at me and wondered. And then we went up the elevator. And we went up to, I want to say, the top floor. And when he looked out and saw the spacious campus and what could be, and pointing out different buildings and what we kind of thought about that we could envision, he became very, very interested, and as a result has been very helpful in supporting us. I hope to seek more support from him. We've already received $50 million from the California legislature that was in a budget trailer bill that he signed. And he knows that this is a very important regional project to help address the needs of housing, the unhoused, low income and affordable housing here, along with other market type of amenities that could exist. Total, right now, the county has put in about 79 million towards this project for a total of 125 million that we know that we can work with now. But that isn't keeping us at in our seats. We're actually going out for more, and we will be. So we're exploring other funding sources to receive, hopefully not receive, but get another $150 million. In this plan that we are constructing here, I want to also mention that will include an enhanced infrastructure finance district. I think many of you are familiar with that concept. The EIFD, a unique funding mechanism that you can learn more about during this session today. The county and the state, as I mentioned, are already very eager to help us with this project. And I'm going to continue to be laser focused on this development and the team, whoever that might be, and working along with our different agencies and resources that we have that we bring together. So I'm looking forward to seeing what we can do more. I also sit, if you're not aware, on the Metro board. I've been working with Metrolink, because I'm also a member of that, to see how we could lead an effort that is in the queue now to help bring a Metrolink station to the campus along the San Bernardino line, Metrolink's most popular route. And if you've ever traveled on that HOV lane, you can see where one of the terminus there is a small one that brings people as they're dropped off from the bus services that go back and forth throughout the county. So that is another potential amenity, as I see it, that are going to bring and attract more people to this particular campus. Nearly 60% of campus employees, I just want to mention, that we surveyed said that they would use that station. So let's also help get people out of their cars and use Metrolink and our bus service and anything else that we're going to help to comprise. So with that, I want to say that the county also, in addition, the county's $30 million for transportation access improvements that is also being guided by our staff and by Metro to help improve bus rapid transit along Valley Boulevard, which neighbors this area. And we know we didn't build the 710 Freeway North, but there were excess funds that were available then that we could use to help alleviate congestion in and around this area. So we're going to put that to good use. So the last thing I will say to you is, if you're interested, please stay, listen to what our speakers are going to say about the project. And I invite all of you to continue to ask questions, to tour the campus, not just today, but come back. And hopefully we can come up with a great project. Someone mentioned to me earlier, it's not really just a development project. It's about really transforming and reimagining how we deal with the issues and challenges that LA County and the city are facing. Because we are in the city of LA, but you're also in the county of Los Angeles. And all of those challenges that we talked about earlier that I mentioned, housing, affordability, jobs, healthcare, wellness, all those things are impacting us, as many of you are well aware of. So I hope with that you'll be engaged. Our staffs are here to talk to you, and I'll turn it back over to our MC. No? Jorge? Jorge? Sure. Jorge Orozco.
Thank you, Supervisor. It really is a pleasure to welcome all of you to Medical Center campus. And I am Jorge Orozco. I'm the CEO of the Medical Center here. And the hospital that you see behind me has been serving the County of Los Angeles and this community for more than 100 years. And it has always been committed to providing world-class care, compassionate care to this community. The hospital is now being repurposed to benefit the residents of this community. This community is my community. I grew up in the shadow of the General Hospital. My family, my friends, all depended on General Hospital for their care. And in fact, when I was 17 years old, my first exposure to healthcare was here in the General Hospital. I was a volunteer in the physical therapy department. It inspired me to become a physical therapist, and never did I want or know that I was going to come back here as the CEO of the medical center. So I feel very indebted to this hospital, which is why I am so passionate and excited about the vision to restore its spirit and allow it to continue to uplift and serve our community. Today represents the beginning of that future, a future that recognizes that a hospital alone cannot keep a community healthy if it does not really address the important drivers of health: housing, mental health services, environmental factors, economic justice. A future that asserts without reservation that our community deserves the best world-class care. And a future that puts more efforts into preventing illness in our community than it does in treating it when it occurs. So none of this would be possible without a leader who has helped create and embrace this vision. And so Supervisor Solis, thank you for your uncompromising inspiration and unwavering motivation. And I am personally very excited about what our future holds for this, and really want you all to think outside the box and come up with some creative ideas to really serve the people that deserve these services in our community. Thank you. The Director of Public Works, Mark.
Thank you, Jorge, and it's always a pleasure. Supervisor said we have an office here. I feel like we've been living here for a long time. We've had the opportunity to work on this special place as a department for many years, building the new hospital, building the new facilities here. It's been really my life's work and pleasure to improve what I consider the heart of Los Angeles. Many hearts have been worked on here. I see the campus as the heart of Los Angeles, and we continue to bring health to the heart of Los Angeles by working on this facility. It is very central to all of Los Angeles County, really the heart of Los Angeles County. And to the developers in the room, you know, there's no better investment than your heart when it comes to health. If you lift that heart, the rest of the body thrives. Think of the economy. We need to lift all. I really want to congratulate also our CEO for focusing on highest and best use of these assets with the vision the supervisor has brought forward. Thinking about, isn't it the highest and best use? Take care of the heart first, and the rest will follow. So that kind of worked, didn't it? That metaphor. So, Supervisor, let me start by thanking you for your leadership and your commitment, absolute commitment to the unhoused, the housing insecure, and those in need of health care. It's clear in your vision that you care. And it has been a pleasure. I've said it many times. And again, the shout out you gave me is all about the opportunity you provided me and our department to show that we also care. We want to bring our great minds to work, our science minds, our engineering minds, our real estate minds to work on serving the public. And what greater cause and what greater needs is there than housing? One of our major initiatives in LA County is to accelerate housing, in particular affordable housing, and Supervisor has been the champion for accelerating that use of land. So Supervisor, you said the hospital is the birthplace of emergency medicine, and what better way to cement its legacy than to continue letting it do what it does best, heal people, heal people. This is an effort this effort is a great step forward and seamlessly complements your vision for the campus, as you referenced, as a health village with projects like the county's flagship hospital, the LA County USC Medical Center, the recently completed first phase of the restorative care village. It's looking good. And the soon to be completed and much anticipated new child care center. And the county has more community serving projects in the pipeline where you, the private sector, can be key partners. I've always said, with many opportunities in my life to work with my mind, thank God the talent God gave me, God-given talent, I took that skill set and I put to public use. I could have been in the private side. One of the things people have told me from the private sector, they want to participate in this public service. This is your opportunity. This is your opportunity. Think of it that way. I know it's about money, but I also know that you have a heart. And it's your opportunity here, as Mr. Soboroff said, to participate in public policy. Participate in public priority. We're not asking you to lose money on the deal. we're asking you to invest in the heart of Los Angeles County. Invest in the people of Los Angeles County alongside with us. And by partnering with the county, I can tell you it's a smart move because we're fair, we're transparent, we're reliable, and we pay our bills, damn it. Our employees here have an extensive experience working with the private sector, both Kelly and mine, and the CEO, and we have delivered hundreds of millions of dollars of complex vertical and horizontal infrastructure projects every year. I would say together, we're the builder of choice. We're the builder of choice in Los Angeles County. We get things done on time and under budget, and we share the risk with each other. We collaborate with each other, and we collaborate and we treat our partners fairly, as I said, to bring about this infrastructure. We're vertically integrated and have control over land use entitlement. That's a big deal. We have jurisdictional approvals and inspection on development on county-owned land. We basically take care of the guts so you can build on it. We make sure it's going to be here for another 100 years because we build right. As Supervisor said, we're investing in the infrastructure that supports the facility, including transportation, and yes, the underground, hidden infrastructure, the guts of this facility have been improved along the way, and we're continue to make investments in that. So there isn't going to be some surprise when you invest in this land. We've looked at what it's going to take. The feasibility study told us, yeah, you're going to have to make some improvements and investments in this, and we're preparing to do just that. So the project will be ready to build. We can leverage our strategic relationship with the city departments. Yes, we can get you through water and power. I can get you through sanitation. I can get you through transportation. I can move the City of Public Works over the city. They are our partners. They are our partners. And they owe me a lot, and that's how I get it done. Supervisor, with one phone call, we housed a family, if you remember, on one Christmas Eve. With one phone call, we got that family power. That's relationship with the City of LA. And most importantly, you're helping the public. That's what I'm here to appeal to you. I often say a community's public infrastructure has a direct connection to the health of its residents and the overall quality of life. Poor infrastructure has been linked with toxic chemical exposure, accidents, injuries, asthma, cardiovascular disease. The list goes on. The list goes on. But with Supervisor's leadership and with the hard work of the LA County USC Foundation, the Medical Center, and the Department of Health Services, my partner, the CEO, and of course our latest partner, the Department of Economic Opportunity, we will ensure that the communities of Boyle Heights and Lincoln Heights get a world-class facility, and the most vulnerable will be treated here with dignity and respect. Supervisor, it's an honor to serve you here in the Los Angeles County.
I'm so pleased to be here with you today. My name is Kelly Lobianco, and I'm the director of the LA County Department of Economic Opportunity, one of the county's newest departments. We're charged with overseeing the county's economic and workforce development policy and programs. We were established very recently, just 5 months ago, by the supervisor and her colleagues on the board to seek a more equitable economy with inclusive and sustainable growth and opportunity and mobility for all. I think it's really important to just center us in our vision because we want to bring that here to the campus today. We do that in our department by helping create quality jobs, by supporting small businesses and high road employers start and grow, and by building vibrant communities and spaces like we're sitting in here today and hoping to grow together. So I'm grateful for the words of the supervisor, for my colleagues Mark and Jorge and Rosa. Thank you so much. I'm just one more voice in the room today to emphasize the opportunity that we have here together, a really rare opportunity to reimagine this massive space and place. In a way, you know, when I think about reimagining it, it's a way to acknowledge and meaningfully respect the rich and storied history of this space, to lift the natural assets of the building and the neighborhoods, and evolve it to meet the needs of today's local economy with dignity and care. That is really, really important, and I think you heard that in my colleagues and the supervisor's words. When we talk to community and you read in the feasibility study, that means affordable housing, health and mental health services, social services, healthy and accessible food, arts and recreation, community spaces. There's a lot of innovation potential right here. And we already have an incredible roster of partners We've got our supervisor, we have our CEO, we have Public Works, Regional Planning, Health Services, LAC USC Foundation and the Wellness Center, the Health Innovation Community Partnership, AECOM, Actum. There's a lot of us in the room who are already actively engaged in this, and we're looking to add more partners to this work as we embark on this development opportunity together. So we're proud, as a department, I want to talk a little bit about the people side of this. We're proud to have our department's American Job Centers of California, our neighborhood job centers, already partnering on these projects to ensure that we meet and exceed our goals of lifting up the community and connecting the local community to good jobs, and with particular emphasis on our community benefits and our local and targeted worker hiring goals. So while the county sets our goals at 30% local hire for construction labor hours and 10% for those historically disinvested workers, we're happy to have had a part with the HICP and Public Works and their job developers on the work that's already happened here on the campus with the Wilman and Children's Hospital, phase 1 of the Restorative Care Village, and the Child Care Center by exceeding those local hire goals. It's really amazing, and I think it speaks to the words of this group. We also look forward to making sure that talented workers in our most immediate vicinity continue to have access as we both build the physical and social infrastructure of this campus and healthy village. And as the department and through our American Job Centers of California and our Office of Small Business, we have teams and resources that are ready to train and prepare and connect local residents to the capital development and operation and maintenance of the newly built and revitalized spaces in the near future, as well as the potential health and mental health care, food service and hospitality, and diverse jobs with future tenants, and support a spirit of entrepreneurship and small business growth where possible. So already in the spaces that are here on campus, our team has helped recruit folks for peer recovery coaches, mental health specialist roles, youth counselors with a lot of the partners on campus. And additionally, we're working with USC, LAC USC on CNA recruitment for these vital healthcare roles that support a healthy village. And we already have 23 hires. So when I look at this space, I not only see good jobs, good quality jobs, but as the supervisor said, an economic engine that provides pathways with family-sustaining wages for our entire community. There's so much we can do here. Thank you so much for giving me a little bit of time to share about the workforce side of this project, and look forward to our future partnership.
Can we give another round of applause to our special speakers today? So now we're going to go on to the rest of our program. But before I do, just want to again thank everyone who has made this day possible. For us, you'll be meeting a lot of our community, but it's been a journey, right? That the supervisor set forth, 8 years ago, right after she started, and this opportunity to really reimagine a healthy village with the community at the center. So as you go over to the information booths, you'll hear from our community priorities and perspectives team, which is a representation of our Health Innovation Community Partnership and all of the hours and hours, hundreds of hours of investment that our community has taken to share their voice, to share their needs, to share about local and target hire, to share about better healthcare, to share about investment in housing, to share about economic revitalization, to share about connectivity, to share about arts, right? If you see our restorative care village, you absolutely immediately see that community connection. And so it doesn't just come because it comes. It comes because there is vision and there is passion and there's commitment. And so to every developer who, may have had to, be a little more patient with us during those processes. They stayed on time and on budget. I want to remind everyone. But it was a huge commitment, right, of really listening to our community. So as you go forth to the other side, there's also a table on the General Hospital West Campus feasibility study, and that entails our community perspectives as well as the technical and capital elements of capital needs of this project. There's also one on the campus projects and all of the different renovations that have occurred. There's also a booth on regional initiatives, right? Metro and transportation and everything that's happening. And then last, transportation and access. So please visit the booths. We're going to spend about 30 minutes in this space visiting booths and doing the tours. And then in about 30 minutes, we will open up for those who want to take the bus tour and go around. I do want to acknowledge a few distinguished guests that have joined us. It's really important for us to ensure that everyone knows that they're valued and important to the space. Our retired Senator Kevin Murray, is he here? Thank you for being here. And then our assistant CEO, John Cook, he's here too. Thank you for being here. So it's the CEO's office as well as all of these departments that have been so patient with us. You guys have stellar teams with a lot of passion, and we appreciate all that you do. So thank you everyone for coming today. Please also enjoy some hors d'oeuvres and refreshments, and please ask us more about any of the projects that you've heard today. Senator, thank you for your vision, thank you for your passion, and thank you for making many of our little kids in our hearts, our dreams come true with a new opportunity for this campus to respond to our community. Thank you.